Hello and welcome to the Orchestra Pit. The song you're about to hear is played right before the Havana scene. The melody is the same as the song Follow the Fold, which is sung every time Sarah Brown's mission band is parading around town to preach. The song sounds somewhat like a military march through the consistent tempo and repetitive melody. This is reflectant of Sarah's uptight nature. Notice the snare drum. It is repeated during Havana when Sarah Brown is visible on stage. This is the fun part. Remember how I was talking about the classical musical theater styles of the songs in the show? This is the beginning of the exception. The percussion kicks in a much livelier beat than we have heard in the rest of the show, followed by the trumpets playing the bass melody that is heard throughout the piece. The timbre is boisterous, flamboyant, and exotic with a Latino vibe. This piece is polyphonic because the melody of the trumpet is often much different than the melody played by the saxophone. What's going on at this point? The music starts, the lights come up, and the Cuban senoritas begin flirtatious dancing. Let's listen. Pause! Sarah's first entrance is marked by a new melody of the woodwinds. It is high-pitched and frilly to represent girly qualities. The snare drum that we heard in Follow the Fold reappears. Sarah takes one glance at the dancing women and quickly leaves. Okay, you can go again. Well, that's awkward. A cheeseburger in Cuba? Really? Anyway, at this point, Sarah and Sky leave, which is evident because the snare drum goes away and the regular drum heard in the beginning comes back.
Mission in Cuba.
Where to?
To see the oldest. Don't miss the dungeons where prisoners were thrown to the sharks.
Sounds like a million laughs.
Columbus.
Down.
Hear the clarinet trill? That's to represent the spinning set. Oops, sorry, and play.
leche.
Okay, here's where things get sloppy. The strings come in with lazy playing and a new melody played at a much slower tempo. This is to show a hazy state Sarah is entering from drinking too many dulce de leches. She doesn't know that it actually has alcohol in it.
These are delicious. What did you call them?
Dulce de leche.
What's in it? Besides milk.
Oh, sugar. And a kind of native flavor.
What's the name of the flavoring?
Bacardi.
It's very good. I'll have another. Have alcohol in it?
Only enough to act as a preservative.
You know, this would be a wonderful way to get children to drink milk.
The orchestra holds the beginning note to foreshadow the dramatic following segment. A drunken Sarah is grabbed by a Cuban boy and begins to dance with a series of different men. At the same time, a sexy Latina woman begins to dance with Sky. Tensions raise and Sarah becomes jealous. The jealousy is heard in a solo trumpet number I will point out when we get to it. This is where it gets really good. Sarah and the Cuban man end up in a circle standing right next to the Latino lady and Sky, along with the other Cuban dancers. The melody falls into unison, which is rare in this song, to show the unified dance of all the characters on stage. When the unison playing ends, the bar fight on stage between Sky and the Latino man, and Sarah and the sexy Latino woman begins.